Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in this exclusive webinar. I'm Carlos Quirin, a sales director at the Lacani Group, and with me is our president and CEO, Mr. Raim Lacani. Raim just arrived in Lisbon today.
My God, my ears are still ringing. By the way, our flight was good, but I don't know what happened.
How many hours your flight?
Well, in total, I think all the flights combined, maybe over 100 hours of flying to different cities.
And you came now and joined the webinar.
Yes, of course. Very dedicated. So yeah, exactly. It was fun. It was fun. It was good to be in LA. It was good to be in Vegas. It was good to be in Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of conversations.
We have a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah. It was
First,
fun.
We would like you to, we have a few topics to discuss today regarding the Mais Habitação, the More Housing Law. Okay, so we have finally it's done, it's approved, and we would like to just have some clarifications. There are 20 points in this new law. One of the points is, of course, the end of golden visa, but there are also other important measures for, the government says it's to improve housing conditions for the people.
Yeah.
But we are having a lot of discussion about this.
Yeah. So we have here basically it's an article that explains, in totality what the different regimes are, what are the different things that are, and why are we doing this? I think the only reason why we're doing this is to kind of give this notion that this is a very complex law that was approved. Honestly speaking, I feel it was a bit of an insult here to all the other political parties that they just went ahead without any changes, without any feedback, and my way or the highway, and that's it, and sorry to say, but a bit of a disrespect to our dear president as well after this memo that was released. Why he is vetoing it. I think something
with
could
no
have been
discussion.
done. Yeah.
And in the first voting after the political veto,
Yeah.
the government didn't even appear
Yeah.
in the parliament. So
The protesters did.
there were a lot of protesters,
Yes.
but the government didn't appear for the votation.
Yeah.
So it was, I think you mentioned right. It's a lack of respect, for the other opinions. We live in a democracy.
Yeah.
They are the government, of course, and respect them, and they have the majority, and they have to, they were elected to it to do. But they're not listening to any other parties,
They're not,
just
unfortunately.
went ahead. For those that don't know, the president Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa made a political veto to this law. That means that he, as the president, says, "Hey, this is not on the right way. So please discuss it again. Talk with other partners. Talk with the public companies and private companies. Talk to the people. Talk to to the society." And on the same day, PS, the government just said, "Okay, we respect, but we won't do.
Yes.
We'll just keep it as it is."
Yeah.
So I think that's the main question.
It is, I mean, we always talk about having a good balance here, and opening up and listening to everyone involved and taking a bit of a democratic approach to things. But this was a bit more radical, so I'm a bit upset on that front. However, they are the ruling party. They have a mind of their own, and they have earned this right from the Portuguese public. So in a way, there is that respect to that they do have a power to make things happen. So in this bill, many things are very, very good that will impact in a really good way. But there are many things that I believe that could be changed, that could be altered, that could be improved upon. And you know what? Like, I think this will be the opportunity actually once the bill passes, probably next week. Well, not passes, but gets printed probably next week. Is the phase that we go into something called as regulamentação, which is regulations itself. So now you have the approved law, and the next phase is the implementation of the law, where you have regulations, and in this regulations is where the law will be defined very clearly, step by step, of all the different things that needs to be done in terms of documentation, in terms of evidences, in terms of the basic plan on how this particular law will be interpreted. So the law is the law; it's a very high level thing. But okay, how does the implementation work is now the next phase, and I think that's where the president is focusing on now, because he doesn't have the power to veto again, but he has the power to stop if the regulations don't make sense.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
yeah.
And to clarify our viewers, some of the points, they have some good points to reduce taxes on the IMI, which is the municipality tax for families.
Yes.
But there are certain points with a lot of controversy, namely forced leasing of empty houses.
Exactly.
Okay, so what the government is saying right here is, hey, you have an empty house, and no matter what the reason, you are forced to lease it.
Yeah. 90 days.
In 90
They
days.
give you 90 days, and if you don't respond within that 90 days, they have this right to basically do whatever they want to do in terms of the decision, essentially, on either repairs or, basically they have the keys to your place, This one is questionable, I don't think they're going to implement this to the ones that are vacant. I think they should at least start with the ones that are really derelict, really in a bad shape, and including the government's own properties.
That's the fact,
Yeah.
because there is
Exactly.
a lot of buildings of the
Yeah.
government that are just deteriorating along the time.
Exactly.
And a question is, okay, I have a house, I don't have the money to make the refurbishments. I inherited the house, and the government says either you make the refurbishments or we're going to force lease it. So who's going to pay for that?
Yeah.
I'm going to pay for that and then send to the government and wait like 1 year for them to pay me or not.
This is the regulations part, right?
Exactly.
This is where now we need to understand the step by step on everything that they want. I mean, we have this, the word that is flying around is the forced leasing or coercive leasing. But these are, again, kind of bad words that have been put on this, right? Like the intent is to bring housing to market. The intent is not government control on these houses. The intent is to bring, and we know, I mean, this is a fact that Lisbon specifically has an acute shortage of good housing, good housing supply. So in a way, it makes sense, but the implementation of that needs to be very, very careful and needs to be very planned, because it can have huge repercussions, onto the government itself, right? So yeah, I mean, that
takes me to the other point, right? About the Airbnbs, let's call it like that, alojamento local, which Lisbon had, Lisbon and other cities like Porto and Algarve and others, a big boom in the last years. So this has been a good business for a lot of people.
True.
For those who don't know, there are of course big companies that make a business out of it, but mainly we're talking about a middle class Portuguese guy that has 2 homes and is renting one. He made a mortgage to the bank to start his own business and is an entrepreneur.
But those are exempt. Okay, so if I'm Portuguese and I have one more house that I consider that as a holiday home in Algarve, and I want to rent it out to Airbnb or to whatever, you can have a holiday home or where you go and it's vacant for part of the year.
Making a business out of it, you cannot. It will be suspended.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But if it is truly, it is your 5th house or 4th house or whatever. If it's like a business where it is always vacant, this is the ones that they are really trying to go after. Because what happens? A lot of people have many houses that just sits vacant, and only 2 months of the year they rent it out. And make up for the money that's throughout the year. So this is the ones that has problems. And more than that, they shut off the electricity, they shut off the water. they shut off all the services, and without these utilities, there's more cost in construction also later on, and the buildings actually lose a lot of its value. And so this is
And
also considered.
the condominium of a building, if
Yeah.
you have an apartment, now will have the power to say no to a
Yeah.
alojamento local, to
Absolutely.
a short rental.
Yeah.
If you want to do, you have to imagine you live in a 10 units building,
Yeah.
and you have an apartment there. You have to have the permission of the condominium to
Exactly.
put it as a short-term rental. Right?
There are many things actually when it comes to short-term rental. There are many things that are also some benefits. They've also given some, EMI, not EMI benefits. They've actually increased property tax, annual property tax for alojamiento local properties. But at the same time, they are doing a very wholesale review of everyone who has this AL license. So I believe what will happen is they all have an expiry date. So as the expiry comes through, they will force essentially a huge checklist of things, and they will ask for them to comply with this checklist.
Right.
And this is how things will come out of the whole AL bubble.
Yes.
So there was an article that I read, and it said to replace all the ALs in Portugal, if they want to completely get rid of ALs, you will need over 1,000 hotels right now in Portugal. So this is a big statement. I mean, for developers, okay, this is good news. Like developers like us, great news, because we are developing new hotels and everything else. But mind you, today the economy doesn't work this way. The economy works in both ways. Hotels and ALs go kind of sort of hand in hand, and people switch back and forth many times on. Of course, I encourage you to go in a hotel, and I don't typically go and rent an Airbnb if I'm going for a business conference or whatever. But so everything has a different purpose to it. So yeah, ALs are equally important, but I think the lobby is also working in two ways here.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so the other measure that the government wants to implement is they want to lease to sublease.
Yeah.
So the government will lease my house and sublease it to another tenant. Okay, the government pays me the at the end of the month the rent.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. We have a history of non-payment from many government institutions for many months. Okay, and this is not taken lightly. There are many institutions, especially Social Security, where they have not paid on time for many of these. So, how you regulate that is a big question. How do you make that trust that you will rent my place and you will sublease it and you will pay me on time, especially if I have a mortgage? Okay, this is something that needs to be taken not so lightly, So yeah.
So this takes us also to
the final measure.
Which our viewers are expecting to hear.
Yes.
This was just to give you an idea of the complexity of this law. So it's creating a lot of talking in general society. All the news open with this, So, and for us, as you know, it's the end of the golden visa. Let's call it like that. The investment in real estate. Give you a quick overview. This program was implemented in 2012. In 2021, they made a big change in it's no longer possible to acquire a golden visa in the big cities all over the coast of Portugal. It's called like that. Meaning, we understand if the normal Portuguese guy doesn't have 500,000 euros to buy an apartment in the center of Lisbon. Okay, 2019, a foreigner has that money. Okay. We don't want this to be just foreigners. You also want to, and I think that's I agree with that. I agree that the identity of the people. The people foreigners come to Portugal to also connect with the Portuguese. And if you come to Portugal and you are in Lisbon and just see non-Portuguese, doesn't make sense. But it has to be balanced. So in 2019. they shut down that possibility, but kept it open for investment in commercial properties, such as hotels and other things that bring a lot of investment to
Yeah.
Portugal into the interior of the country as well.
Exactly.
That was like a desert.
Yeah.
So, and we in TLG have invested in.
It was like
four
Vegas back in the
property.
day.
Exactly. Nothing has
Nothing there.
And we are proud to say that we are investing in the interior of Portugal. We have at least 4 properties that we are developing there. So, and we believe in the that potential for the tourism. And they want to shut
Yeah.
that. They will. They don't want. They will shut
It is
down.
happening.
It is happening.
It is happening.
So, does this make any sense?
Yeah.
Because, sorry, when they say this is to,
Encourage.
encourage and
Yeah.
to create,
Exactly.
possibilities for the common Portuguese to
Yeah.
have access to rent a house or to buy a house. So, explain me, how does shutting down investment in a hotel
Yeah.
gives the normal Portuguese more purchase power to buy a house?
And surprisingly enough, every single city hall city that we have invested in, and every single mayor that we have spoken to where our hotels are, they respect us so much, and they support us so much with everything possible to assist us to have that hotel going, and that project, like our projects are projects on paper written by city halls, projects of public interest, so we get that kind of level of recognition because there is a serious lack of investment, but there is also a serious demand. This is the most surprising part. There's a serious demand in these interior regions, but only the lack of offering is there, but if you build, and this is what we are doing, we're building, and when we are complete, you will see that will be the only game in town, in some towns, especially in the north, where a lot of business is going to come to these. In Algarve, you are just another hotel. So, and the city hall will not recognize you the same way as they recognize the big hoteliers. I'm not going to be in the same league, let's put it this way, or in Lisbon or in Porto. It's not going to be the same favors that will be granted. So when we are looking at projects, especially in the interior, this is another level of respect. Not just respect, but also incentives, tax incentives that you obtain. That ends up going back into the profitability to the investors. So this is the whole game.
Because that we will help the economy, the local economy, of course.
Yeah.
Bringing a good hotel with a very good brand.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're going to lose. Well, going to lose a big incentive that is being able to do a golden visa.
1 more week.
Yes, I was going there. But guys, this doesn't end now at the end of this webinar. So I wanted to talk about. So we are now with 4 projects sold out. So,
yes.
And our last project we still have
very little.
10 slots,
slots,
which is in the north of Portugal.
Yeah.
Global Hotel Mirandela. It will have, of course, with our partner Wyndham.
Yeah.
Brands and. About timelines, we're expecting how many days until we get the submission?
Oh, that's very fast with us. Now we have a very, very strong team. As people who have already invested will give you a great testament, and very, very fast. We work like a machine here. So literally, 1-2 days and your application can be submitted. But you must contact us now. We are getting to that bottleneck in a very.
Should be appearing around here. Or
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But please contact so we can move through. We can, there is no. I again say this: there is no financial loss with us if you don't make the cutoff. If you transfer and you haven't made the cutoff, it's completely refunded, and it's in the contract. So there is nothing to worry about on this front. Of course, there is a lost opportunity, so this will be the saddest thing. So if you are just on the cusp of making that decision, make that decision now, because Portuguese golden visa, trust me, I've compared this, and a lot of the guys out there have compared this. There is no other match when it comes to the criteria. when it comes to the flexibility, when it comes to the cost. There is nothing else that is out there, especially European. So this is literally your last chance. After this, you will have twice the investment, or if you go to another part of Europe, you will not be able to actually get the passport until you physically live there for 5, 7, 10 years. So this is your last chance. Money is not the problem. Pull the trigger. Let's go. We will be there to assist you. All in all, we're working throughout the weekend here, and we'll get it done. We'll get it done, but you have to extend your hand and say yes. Let's go.
Okay. So to clarify, I'm an investor living in India, Dubai, whatever. Okay, I want access to the Portuguese Golden Visa.
Yeah.
I know I'll give you Portuguese citizenship with all of the benefits that having a European citizenship gives me, not only for Europe, but with 100 countries that can give me that benefits.
Yeah.
So what I need to do is I need to send some documents. The contracts, and then what is the workflow? TLG takes care of all the process until the submission, or
exactly. Everything is central. Everything is in house.
I have to come here to Portugal.
You don't have to come to Portugal. You don't have to worry about anything. Absolutely, okay. You will manage things in a very fast way. So contact us. We'll walk you through the entire process. It's a simple process with us. Contact us. Let's go. There's no hidden secrets or nothing like this. Even if you want to learn about the process, just to be acquainted. Maybe you're not ready yet. Still contact us. Let's be friends, okay? And who knows? Maybe the golden visa comes around, in a few months or a few years again with this kind of thing. But let's get connected. That's the whole point. And let's, give yourself an opportunity to learn. Maybe you're not ready yet, but you'll be ready in a year or 2 or 3, and the conditions will be different. Okay, but let's get in touch. Okay,
get in touch, guys. So this is actually true. We can get, and we have done it within 3 days after you make the decision and start talking with us and sending the documents to successfully submit golden visa applications.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you are thinking about not make that decision yet, or you are, I don't know the documents, I don't know a law firm there that I can trust, I don't know what's going to happen, how much time it will take care, and if I lose my money, call us. Talk with us. We'll explain you everything, and we want you to feel comfortable. And we will have a team, a legal team. We have a sales team. Also, in our project, we have our own construction companies, architects, engineers. So everything is made in house. We operate the hotel, so we go hand in hand with you.
Exactly.
We don't, forget about you at the middle of the way. We are hand in hand with our investors. We will operate the hotels. So this is a process. Together.
You are seeing. So when you come to Portugal, you'll see the same faces.
Yeah.
In fact, it happened with us recently.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, you were on the webinar. Yeah.
That's it. You showed up at the office and I know you from the webinar.
Exactly.
And yes, we are here. We are true. We are people. We are in person. We are flesh. So you are more than welcome to come and visit us in our headquarters in Lisbon. Or just call us on WhatsApp, email, wherever you want.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time, and hope to host you guys very, very soon in Portugal.
Yeah, thanks. Still possible. Let's go.
Take care. Bye-bye.